For decades, America and Israel have been allies. It has only been in recent years that the American people have really started to pay attention to what is going on in Israel and what they have been doing to the Palestinian people. It is a genocide. America has also been selling weapons to Israel for a very long time. Whether they are Democrats or Republicans in power, they've been selling weapons to Israel. The majority of America and American media have said little to nothing. Even now, I see comments stating, what about a Hamas? What about October 7th? My question to you is, do you have any idea about the bombing, killing, and imprisoning of Palestinian people by Israel before October 7th, 2023? Before Hamas was even created? If you don't know, you are not paying attention. If you think it's just propaganda, again, you are not paying attention. The International Criminal Court, the ICC, issued an arrest warrant for Netanyahu on November 21st, 2024 for war crimes and crimes against humanity. And these charges include starvation as a method of warfare and other inhumane acts. The warrant against Netanyahu is notable as the first time of a Western-backed democratic country has been targeted by the ICC for alleged war crimes. People all over Europe are protesting in the thousands against Netanyahu and urging their governments to impose sanctions against Israel. Now I'd like to show you a video of Trump speaking about Gaza about 4 months ago.
It's a big mistake to allow people, the Palestinians or the people living in Gaza, to go back yet another time. And we don't want Hamas going back. And think of it as a big real estate site. And the United States is going to own it and will slowly, very slowly, we're in no rush, develop it. We're going to bring stability to the Middle East, to a totally war-torn part of the Middle East. A part of the Middle East that has caused tremendous problems.
Now, before you go trying to say that I'm anti-Semitic for not supporting Israel, I'd like you to take a look at this video of Jewish people in New York protesting inside Trump Tower saying "not in my name," and good for them.
What we do know as of right now, demonstrators from a Jewish group are filling the lobby of Trump Tower to denounce the immigration arrest of a Columbia University activist who helped lead student protests on the campus against Israel's war in Gaza. The Jewish Voice for Peace protesters are wearing red shirts, as you can see, and it says, quote, "Jews say stop arming Israel." They're also carrying banners reading, "Opposing fascism is a Jewish tradition and fight Nazis, not students." And they're saying, "Bring Mahmoud home now." And again, if you aren't familiar with this story, Mahmoud Khalil is a permanent U.S. resident who is married to an American citizen and who hasn't been charged with breaking any laws, but he was arrested outside his New York City apartment on Saturday, and he's now facing a deportation. President Donald Trump has said Khalil's arrest was the first of many to come and vowed on social media to deport students who he said engage in pro-terrorist, anti-Semitic, and anti-American activity. I do want to see if we have any more shots. We do have one outside here as I continue to read to you. You can see protesters are also outside the building. Let's turn up the sound here and listen in really quickly.
Why you're here? I'm here because my grandparents were Holocaust survivors, and growing up I was always told about their experience in the Holocaust and my family that died in the Warsaw Ghetto. And what we're seeing right now in Gaza is a genocide. And I was always taught growing up to fight any genocide wherever it was happening. And what we're seeing is that the Trump regime is continuing the genocide in Gaza and attacking our freedom of speech here in the U.S.
Now, things are even getting worse for Netanyahu at this point, as his own people in Israel, who have been brainwashed since they were children about Palestine and Palestinian people start to learn what is really going on. Here's part of a protest in Israel.
We want to stop this horrible war, and we demand our government to achieve a hostage deal and a ceasefire in order to save lives, Israeli lives and Palestinian lives, end this horrible war and destruction of Gaza, and starting to advance toward real Palestinian-Israeli peace. I want to say to the people of Gaza, we are with you. We know that you are innocent, and we are fighting to end this destruction of your city and of your lives.
So, guess what happened just a few days ago? Actually, just a day before Israel decides to bomb Iran. Congress, American Congress, got together and were about to pass a bill of no bombs. No bombs bill for Israel. Take a look.
Congress member Delia Ramirez of Chicago, who's introduced legislation called the Block the Bombs Act that would withhold the transfer of offensive weapons to Israel and demand Israel's compliance with U.S. and international law. Congressmember Ramirez joins us now from Capitol Hill. Can you lay out what's in the bill, Congressmember?
Yeah. Amy, first of all, let me start by telling you that everything is connected. You just heard that from Hala. It is so important to understand that in this precise moment, what Bibi Netanyahu wants is to continue to escalate this ground invasion and starvation of Palestinians to absolutely take over Gaza and destroy Palestinian life. That's what he wants to do. Donald Trump wants to help him, and he wants to redevelop the land. Block the Bombs Act bill is critical and urgent. It's why we have 23 sponsors as we speak right now. It withholds a set of offensive weapons that you and I both know have been used repeatedly by Bibi Netanyahu with the authority of Donald Trump and previous administrations to be able to bomb children. So what this bill does is withholds a set of offensive weapons, and it says that if Bibi Netanyahu, if the Israeli government wants to use any of these weapons, it would have to prove that it is not violating U.S., international, and human rights law, which you and I both know is very difficult for a fascist like Bibi Netanyahu with his extremist friend, the duo, Donald Trump.
How much support do you have for cutting off offensive weapons support to Israel?
Amy, it's a bill, not a resolution. I'm certainly a co-sponsor of the joint resolutions that we have seen of disapproval. But as of today, there are 23 members of Congress who have signed on to this bill. 22 original co-sponsors, including 3 Jewish members as original co-leads and co-sponsors, and we have a number of others from all over the country. We are talking to people every single day. There are people across the states that are calling and saying, Congress member, if you believe, if you are a pro-peace member of Congress, if you are tired of seeing the death toll and starvation of Palestinians, you must sign on to block the bombs bill. And I believe that more will go ahead and add on to the support. This is common sense, Amy. We can't keep watching this and go to sleep and act like we have no responsibility. Silence is complicity. We will wake up years from now and ask ourselves, what the heck did we do in this moment? Block the Bombs Act bill gives us an opportunity to finally assert our power as Congress.
Now, I'm not usually a conspiracy theorist, but the next day, I learn that Netanyahu has suddenly bombed Iran, saying, as it is said since 1992, that they are developing nuclear weapons. And the U.S. better get on board and help them win this war. Getting another useless war in the Middle East. Americans, I'm telling you, do not believe Trump. Do not believe Netanyahu. And do not trust a bunch of corporate Democrats that would like to also see this happen. No more. Say no.